everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is Soimwatching Stranger Things, Season 5, Episode 2.
The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler.
That's what you guessed.
I didn't guess it. Everybody else guessed it.
Why were you? I was like, why are you so sure there's going to be a reveal? I thought it could have just been called The Vanishing of ...
Oh, it has to be. We have to know who vanishes. It's Holly. Holly Wheeler. Really good cold open.
Legendary.
Super solid.
I was going to say, we did forget to mention, and I even wrote it down, but she was reading A Wrinkle in Time, and she called her invisible friend Mr. Who's it? What's it? Do you want to go to the cold open or?
Yeah. A guy was like, do you want to just jump to the end?
Do you want to just jump to the end?
Mr. What's it
It's
is?
Henry.
It's obviously Vecna.
Yeah, I assumed that, and then that's what it was.
I'm going to say something right now. If he just wants a family and people to hang out with,
we are a family.
Bad story. Bad story, bro. So the cold open was truly amazing. Mike and Lucas are biking from the hospital to get to the Wheeler house, and Nancy has taken L and is driving to get to the Wheeler house.
Inexcusably driving her there and not going through the tunnels.
Well,
it did end up.
Okay, all right. We will get to my two least favorite grown-ups in this show all of a sudden. So Ted is outside hitting golf balls, and Karen is listening to Fernando and drawing herself a very drunken, sad bubble bath. And Holly is being terrorized by the Demogorgon.
Being given 1-4
in her bedroom and screaming at the top of her lungs. And no one, Karen does have Fernando turned up.
That's how you listen to Fernando.
Obviously. No judgment on that part. And so she finally gets away from the Demogorgon because it's pulling her, and then her boot comes off, and the Demogorgon, it's like a dog playing tug. It goes flying back into the gate before it comes back. And so she goes into the bathroom, and for a minute, Karen is like, it's just a dream, sweetie. And then the lights start going crazy, and the Demogorgon, she can see it and stuff. So they end up hiding under the water, and Ted, all of a sudden, MVP Ted comes in because he sees the lights.
Bubbling under.
He sees the lights going, and he gets in the house, and he's got his golf club, and he's like, who's in here? Karen, are you okay? And he just keeps going, gee golly, when he sees furniture askew and stuff. And so he gets into the bedroom basically, and then the Demogorgon is there, and he goes after it. He tries to get after it with his golf club, and it sort of slashes him and throws him through the wall into Mike's room. And so that's the last we see of Ted for the moment. And then Holly and
Karen get downstairs.
They're under the water, and then when it goes after Ted, they come up. They get downstairs. Karen falls down because she's all wet from the water. And then the Demogorgon is really doing it's around every corner kind of thing. And so it comes after them. And the mama bear, it was amazing. She literally...
Not my daughter, you bitch!
Really? She smashes her empty wine bottle. And so it's like a knife. And she gets it 4 or 5 times. She stabs it with the broken wine bottle 4 or 5 times. We don't see what happens after that. Nancy and 11 get there, and there's just a pool of blood, and Karen is bleeding out on the floor of the kitchen. They get the bleeding kind of stopped, and then Nancy sees the gate still open, and Karen says, Holly, find Holly. And so she gets 11 to go through the gate.
Well, 11 just books it.
Well, Nancy had to be go, go, go. And then she did. She went right through, and she's searching for her. So we do get Karen and Ted
You were
to the hospital.
Oh, duh.
I was I was certain. I was wow, crazy to tap them both out already.
It
but
didn't
no,
feel right.
Yeah, I agree. One or the other, but not both. So we get them both to the hospital. Where I wrote it down. Ted is in surgery still, and Karen was in an induced coma, but she's already out of it. Was it swapped?
It was swapped.
Karen was in surgery, Ted's in an induced coma. So yeah, but they're both still alive. The hospital is totally cock blocking Mike and Nancy about getting any information beyond that.
And also not giving her a clean pair of scrubs to wear.
She does go to just find the candy striper uniform by herself, but like literally
covered in her mother's blood.
In the palest pink head to toe outfit you've ever seen, with blood soaked through her hands, her elbows, the front of her, and her knees. And just like no new clothes to speak of. So she is also blaming herself, which is a Nancy special. And Mike is like, we literally couldn't have anticipated anything like this. Like, there's no way we could have figured it out. And she's like, yeah, but we could have told them or tried to get them out of town harder or something like that. To which Lucas...
Vecna did show her this, like specifically this vision.
Yeah, of like everybody dead and the town ripped asunder and everything. So I do get it, but at the same time, it's like she's been blaming herself for stuff since she had sex with Steve while Barb was dying. And so I'm just sort of like, not everything's your fault. If
Nancy survives this endeavor, I think she's going to take that with her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think that's going to be a lifelong struggle for Nancy Wheeler.
Yeah. So Lucas is actually the one that points out that we are extremely close to the anniversary of the date where Will got taken, which I was mistaken. It's November 6th, not November 3rd. So we're a couple days away still. And he's like, here's the thing. It's too much of a coincidence because if Vecna wants the suffering, why would he leave your parents alive? And why would he not just like leave Holly's body? Like he would have just left all three bodies there. Why did he do this? And also, why did he send a Demogorgon and not come himself? Like, this is not, it can't be what it is. So Nancy and Mike end up talking and they realize that this could be connected to Holly's imaginary friend, Mr. What's-It. And so they trick their way in, they change outfits and like Muppet Man their way into Karen's room because the doctor won't let them because she's still healing. And she couldn't talk anyway because her larynx was damaged.
Healing. I mean,
yeah.
Also, if you're one of our regulars, the Muppets is coming. We usually do it on Thanksgiving, but we're busy this week, so it'll be before Christmas or for Christmas. But the Muppets is coming with Muppet Man.
So yeah, they get into Karen's room and they're like, don't try to talk, but can you write? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And so they basically are doing kind of a back and forth, like, do you what do you know about Mr. What's-It? And she's like, well, the teacher saw her talking, but there was no one there. And then like, what was he, has she ever described him what he's wearing? And so he's apparently very dapper and he's wearing like a vest and a suit and he seems nice and friendly and he's got a pocket watch. And he's always talking.
Why is that? Why is he being nice? That makes me feel like he's working towards something. Like they figured out. Like if he was just terrorizing them, he would have killed them. He clearly wants Holly.
Well, yeah. Okay. So yes. So it is Henry, like we say, because Karen writes that they're like, did Holly ever say what his if he has a first name? And so she writes out Henry. That's when we see it. And so I assume it's in the Upside Down and he's making it look idyllic to Holly because she's walking with him into Creel House and she's like, you're going to save my friends too, right? Like you're going to go get them and my family. And he's just like sort of menacing from our view, but he's like, yeah, your friends first. And then I'm going to save your family. And that's why I kind of feel like he's just lonely and he wants to have some friends. But like in order to kill them all I don't know.
I think there's something else happening.
I feel like there has to be.
They had that conversation, Mike and Holly, when he gave her Holly the heroic, where they were talking about another realm. And I said, oh, are we going to get something pretty? And you were like, I think this might just be prepping for heaven.
Yeah.
For like the afterlife.
Yeah.
But I wanted to throw that out there. Holly is very clearly.
That was Mike and Elle talking about that, like what happens after. And
it was.
And he was like, in the campaigns, they always live happily ever after. And she was like, well, what does that look like?
I feel like Holly is going to end up being important beyond just this episode. Like
Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
I'm getting like a childlike Empress vibe from her.
That could be cool.
Because you even said
she does vibe. Like
it's a very pretty little girl.
She's very pretty. She also does vibe with Alice Creel, with the Henry's little sister. So yeah, I don't know. So I am also curious why he wants Holly, like why the Upside Down wants Holly.
Because the Demogorgon was going to retrieve her.
It was trying to get her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Piggybacking on top of that, we can do the like Will and Robin thing. Robin's gaydar is bad.
Robin
she's being a lot.
Is a special.
Yeah.
Robin is special.
She's being a lot. It's kind of like, I get it, and also it's a little too much. Like, she wasn't even this nervous when they were trapped in the Russian bunker, and this is like so far not as dangerous to her personally. Whatever, we'll see. She's being kind of a lot. So they're still trying to get the power back on and everything. And she's doing her ramble thing, and Joyce is like, can you please go get the other like pieces to start fixing this? Like, let's go. And we then are dealing with like what Will's doing. He explains that he was the Demogorgon, but he also had another vision earlier in the day, and he thinks if he goes back there, he can like to the woods, to Eddie's table, picnic table in the woods, he can like latch back into it and spy. To which Joyce semi-rightfully is like, yeah, you spied before, but he took control of you. But again, Will was like... They think
he's like maybe an antenna.
Yeah. Will was like, I don't think we ever actually did sever the connection. Like, I think it's been there the whole time.
They were just too far away.
Just like dormant
when
sometimes.
They were in California.
Yeah. So yeah, he's like an antenna. And Joyce is very against using him. And I'm like, it's been like roughly 9 months, at least, ish. And we've gone on 37 crawls. This is the first one to go badly. We've lost track of Hopper. The power is out. We don't know where Steve and Jonathan are. And apparently the car battery died. Whatever. I'm like...
It's okay, they got to jump from Aubrey Plaza.
Use everything at your disposal, right? Like, to get going. So, while Joyce is trying to call all the rest of them to try to get contact back up, Robin literally says, "Great Scott," and drags Will away on the guise of something being a 2-person job with the flux capacitor, to which I am urging Joyce to engage with pop culture, because she does not know what that means. That's embarrassing. Especially because that movie came out 2 seasons ago, according to the timeline of the show. Robin is basically like, your idea is, to Will, is like, your idea is good, let's go do it. So they go traipsing through the woods, and that is how Will figures out that during the vision that he had at Eddie's picnic table, he was Holly Wheeler, spinning on the, what do you call it?
Putting the wheel in Wheeler.
Yeah. It's not a merry-go-round. It's like a...
I mean...
Oh, yeah, merry-go-round. Yeah. Carousel is the...
Yeah.
Okay, so merry-go-round. And so that's when he first saw it, which means... But then he says, I was Vecna, but it was like he was seeing Holly. So what Holly was seeing. He wasn't seeing Holly. He was seeing what she was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little shaky, but they're on the same team. They're all on the same page.
And Robin
Robin was like, hey,
talked to him about Vicky.
Were you at the hospital? And Will was like, what's a hospital? And Robin was like, I have a friend.
Sometimes when grown-ups are really good friends.
Yeah. If you saw something, it would be better if no one else knew about it. And he was like, well, I didn't see anything. And I want them to have
we're going to have more scenes.
More conversation about that.
We're going to have more.
I want to get rid of the Hop stuff. So Elle is in, let's start in the Upside Down. Elle's in the Upside Down. She runs into Hop, and she throws him against a tree because she's just, it's like a shoot first, ask questions later thing. And just immediately, he's like, what are you doing here? How dare you? You were in a car? Oh my God. Well, thank God you were wearing your hoodie. Very sarcastic. And I just am like, can no one see that these are extenuating circumstances on all fronts? And she's like, Holly got taken and the Demogorgon is bleeding and I'm going to follow it. And he's just like nagging her the whole time. And then I know that it's been years in between seasons, but I feel like, have had this conversation about his daughter, Sarah, in every season.
I was gonna defend it a little bit. I was gonna be like, that's for the people who have only done who've only watched this once or are just tuning in. If we have to have the conversation again and again, where I feel like we're like still trudging up, but that would, because I almost was even like, that's for the second screeners. And I was like, no, because if I hadn't watched those kill count montages, I would have forgotten.
Sure.
I would have been like, he had a daughter?
Yeah.
And you guys would have locked me out of the house. The door would just slam shut on my face.
I think my biggest issue is because we did like a whole thing that was like equally emotional with Dimitri in season 4 when he's in the Russian prison, where he's talking about how he was the one mixing the Agent Orange and he thinks that it made him toxic and it was the reason that Sarah got cancer in the first place, is because he, like, his body was toxic and it passed on to her. And I just like, I guess Elle maybe didn't know all that information, but it's still, I was like, let's fucking blue scrunchie again, blue scrunchie o'clock again. Let's pick it up, man.
If they keep up with it, I'll find it a little bit annoying, but if that was just a refresher, I'm okay with that. Speaking
of things that they keep picking up that are annoying, the Steve and Jonathan thing is still happening, and it's happening harder than it did.
But I think they made progress.
We'll see.
Okay.
So the van crapped out, and apparently some girl whose sister Steve stood up multiple times is giving them a jump on the side of the road. And then as they're sitting there waiting, Jonathan updates Steve. So I guess they're in contact again, because Jonathan's updating Steve on what is going on with Nancy's parents. And I am torn because Steve, the way that it is written and phrased, it does sound like he is trying to one-up Jonathan, because he's like, maybe we should like just hit the hospital on the way and like bring Nancy some flowers. And Jonathan is like, no, we should definitely stay the course of this already completely failed mission that we've all been on tonight. And so they get into a fight. And Jonathan is like, you're always trying to one-up me in front of Nancy, and it's weird. And Steve is like, well, ever since you came back from California, you're a paranoid pothead weirdo. And then, and this was like the harshest one, he literally was like, the only one more miserable in this relationship than you is Nancy. So you need to figure your shit out. And he just keeps insisting that they're just friends. But again, the writing and the way that they're presenting it makes me feel like they are trying to get Steve back together with Nancy, and I don't care about it. We'll see.
You don't care for it.
I do care about it, yes. I don't care for it. I care about it deeply. Just the opposite. At this point, I'm team Nancy. Just kick both of these losers to the curb and do your own thing. And so that is when Dustin rolls his bike up and apparently tries to sell a line of crap about having fallen off his bike.
Fell into the ground 5 times.
To which Steve even is like, what did you fall into, a knuckle sandwich? And it's like, yeah, you got super beat up. And so they get in a pretty big fight too. And Dustin is still being I thought he was kind of a prick to Steve in season 4. And he's just about like how dumb Steve is. And he's still doing it now.
Well, you know how teenage boys in the 80s are with their dads?
Well, Steve's his mom. Steve's his mom.
That's even worse.
It's way worse. He's basically just calling Steve stupid for not being able to like figure out the machinery and everything at the radio station and in the van. And they're both really mad at each other and they don't want to talk anymore. So they're not talking at the moment. I think Steve's right, because he's like, you just kept poking the bear, didn't you? And he like knows exactly what happened. He's not an idiot. He's a dummy. He's not an idiot.
He's not as dumb as he is.
He's not as dumb as he is. Lucas and Max had another scene that was basically the same. He just was like, it can't be a coincidence that Holly got taken so close to Will's anniversary and like this crawl went bad and like all of this stuff is happening at the same time. So like if you're gonna wake up, I need you to wake up now. Nothing yet, obviously.
They did report to Linda Hamilton that they had pictures of Elle. Yeah. And she was like,
God, fucking Colonel Sullivan, whatever I hate him. He's the my least favorite part of this.
I'm doing a lot of advocating for the show because it does. I mean, it makes sense that because Elle's the one they know about. So it's like if they have this kind of like supernatural crap happening and then they have a supernatural person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sure a place to start.
No, I definitely get it, except for that, like, they are down there in the Upside Down, so they know about the other creatures and stuff, and so just, like, automatically assuming it's this girl.
It's kind of empty right now, though. The Upside Down. There's
so many creatures in the lab that's in the Upside Down.
Sure.
So it's
so basically, Linda, Dr. K was sort of like, come back to me when you have her, not just having seen her.
But that was when he was like, she's here, like down here with us.
And so Hopper and Elle came to this giant wall.
Yeah.
Like of pustulary.
It's really gross.
And you pointed out that it looked like what she was dissecting.
Oh, yeah. There are a bunch of globby things that looked like, what she was doing. But it also is like if the shimmer wasn't disgusting.
It was called the squelcher or something.
Yeah. Ugh.
But it just really kind of, the camera pulled back and it was big, like really, really big. And it seems that the Demogorgon took Holly through that.
Yes.
And Elle thinks that's why she can't see.
Elle thinks that's why she can't find Vecna or Holly in her mind void. Because they're both beyond the wall.
So we're dealing with like a realm within a realm underneath a realm.
It's at least a protected area of the Upside Down. Because also if it is if he has actually managed to create an idyllic version, like recreate the idyllic version of Creel House, then that's something too. If he's just like protecting it with walls of like muck. Yeah, still, I mean, I'm not having issues with the plot. I'm having issues with how some characters are acting. Specifically Hopper the most, and then Joyce slightly behind that. And then I don't like the Steve and Jonathan plot, but other than that,
we like Nancy.
I do. I love Nancy. And also this Nancy and Mike content is actually like blowing my mind. I'm loving the Nancy and Mike content. I also did really like Will and Robin together. That was really a lot of fun. So we are getting some new kind of like arrangements, which is nice. Like characters that haven't really interacted before.
Because there was the scene with Robin and Joyce, and you were like, "This is a duo."
Yeah, I would like it better if because I had the same problem in season 4 a little bit with Joyce. Because season 1, 2, and 3 Joyce she's like on top of shit. She's like, "Where's my boy? What's wrong with my boy? Why aren't my magnets working?" So like season 1 through 3 Joyce is great, and then season 4 Joyce is like, I guess the magnets. So season 1 through 3 Joyce is great. And then season 4 Joyce is like, why does it smell like a skunk in this house? And Jonathan is hotboxing in his room. What? Like, you think Joyce has never smoked pot before? And now no, Will, you can't. It's so dangerous. As if everyone else doesn't have dangerous jobs. I just use all the weapons at your disposal. She's acting like she's brand new. And that's kind of annoying because she was not brand new for 3 seasons. So
I get that.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
okay.
We'll see. We are going to, it's going to probably be a day before
there's this Thanksgiving thing that's in the way.
Record the next or the final 2 of this batch.
But we're getting them to you as efficiently as we are able to.
So, just please be patient with us.
Because some of us don't feel like staying up till 2 in the morning.
Well, mostly probably Will.
Sure.
Doesn't feel like staying up till 2 in the morning.
Also, I have cooking to do.
Yeah.
So.
All right. That is it for us.
So.
Bye.
Bye.